Test 1 2. Test 1 2 3 4 5. Testing 1 2 3 4 5. Test 1 2 3 4 5.
McDonald Stadium and the first game of 2018 for the El Dorado Broncos playing the Mulvane Patriots. Okay, we're going to start with the lineup for the Mulvane Patriots. Batting in the first position, playing center field, number 2, Yoni Gibbons. Batting in the second position, number 7, playing second base, Mason Gooden. Next we have number 8, playing right field, Javis Larson. Number 27, playing first base, Caleb Cox. In the batting in the fifth position, number 30, playing third base, Bryson Learley. Number 10, playing shortstop, Turner Lace. Number 3, playing left field, Garrett Chopper. Number 4, catching for the Patriots tonight, Dawson Sramick. And at this time, we have in the next position, number 16, as designated hitter, Jack Gillis.
Don't need music. Don't need music.
Okay, and now the lineup for your El Dorado Broncos. Batting in the first position, playing center field, number 15, Pete Carabella. Batting in the second position, number 9, playing left field, Jarrett Coyne. Batting third, number 3, playing third base, Tanner Sheets. Batting fourth, number 10, playing right field, Austin Top. Batting fifth, number 7, catching for the El Dorado Broncos, Ethan Payne. Batting in the sixth position, number 31, playing first base, Maddox Solomon. Batting seventh, number 34, designated hitter, Connor Allen. Batting in the eighth position, number 5, playing second base, Jordan Anstanding. And batting in the ninth position, number 6, playing shortstop, Tucker Catlett. That's impressive. And pitching for the El Dorado Broncos tonight, number 16, Hunter Larson. Please remove your caps and stand for the singing of our national anthem. Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last flame, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good job. Good job.
And good evening, everybody. It is time for Bronco baseball on this Saturday night. It's the home opener. It's the season opener for El Dorado as they take on the Mulvane Patriots. Good evening. Kurt Caden here with you for another season of Bronco baseball here on YouTube. And lots of things to pass along to you. But first off, we'll give you the starting lineups tonight. First, for Mulvane, batting in the first spot will be Keone Givens, a center fielder. Mason Good bats second. Javis Larson third. Caleb Cox is batting fourth. Bryson Learley fifth. And Turner Lay sixth. Garrett Chalker will bat seventh. Dawson Sramick eighth. And Zach Bylick is in the ninth spot for Mulvane. For El Dorado in the field. Out in the outfield, from left to right, Jarrett Coyne is out in left field. Pete Carvala in center field. And the right fielder is Austin Toth. Around the infield, Tanner Sheets is at third. Tucker Catlett at shortstop. The second baseman is Jordan Anstendig. And at first base, Maddox Solomon. Catching for El Dorado tonight is Ethan Payne. And pitching for the Broncos, a young man we got to know pretty well last year, Hunter Larson will start here for El Dorado. Non-league game. These are two teams that aren't separated by too much distance, but in different leagues. Temperature here in El Dorado is very pleasant. I know there was some fears that we might have heat indexes well over 100. I'm sure it's warmer out on the field right now for sure, but we'll get you our first pitch temperature here in just a second. It is certainly cooler when that wind's out of the north, which it rarely is at this time of year. It's a breath of fresh air. So Mulvane will come up to bat here, top half of the first inning. And it'll be their center fielder, Keone Givens. Right-handed batter is Givens. He'll stand in the shade, as you can see there on the stream, as Hunter Larson from the brilliant sunlight fastball upstairs is ball one. First pitch coming at 7 o'clock on the dot, and our first pitch temperature 82 degrees. North winds at 15 miles an hour. The 1-0 pitch to Givens. He squares again. That one again a little bit upstairs, and it's 2-0. Hunter Larson. Last year, a pretty good year for the Broncos. There's a 2-0 pitch, and that one's high right now, not finishing off on the fastball, and it's 3-0 to Givens. And the 3-0 pitch, that one looked in there, and it is strike one. So we have a little different equipment this year. I don't have the same camera or computer that I was able to use last year. So on the downside, here's a 3-1 pitch. That one looked in there. It is 3-2. On the downside, we always had that score box up there in the upper right-hand corner. And so for the time being, we don't have that. I do not have the ability to zoom in and out either. So I can move side to side, but I will not be able to zoom in and out, which is always so much fun to zoom in on the Bronco dugout. 3-2 pitch, and the umpire gave a little bit of a look, but that looked away, and it is. So leadoff walk to Givens. Mason Goad coming up. Mason Goad sounds familiar, Gary. I think we've had him here in El Dorado, haven't we? Sure have. Yeah, that's right. Mason batted ninth much of the year, got hot late in the year, moved up in the lineup, and then seem to just do better down in that 8-9 spot. And stealing on the first pitch is Givens, and he will swipe it. So a stolen base for Givens, wasting no time. So it's Mason Goad, the second baseman, up there with a runner in scoring possession. I'll need to remind myself to say the score more often now that we don't have the box up there. Givens going to third. Here's a strike down there, but Givens really got two outstanding jumps, and neither play was terribly close. That was a strike. I believe it's 1-1. No, it's 0-2. So Goad has been letting him go by as Givens has been able to swipe two bases. Mulvane with a runner at third base. No one out. They're in the top half of the first inning. And the pitch from Larson. Curveball is fisted out just behind second base. That'll be caught by Jordan Anstandig, and no chance to advance as Givens. So with one away, it'll bring up the right fielder, Javis Larson. One away here. Left-handed swinger is Larson. So we have Javis Larson facing off against Hunter Larson. I don't think they're related. And Hunter with the pitch. That one's high, and it is 2-0. Yep, 2 balls and no strikes here to Javis Larson. Young man goes to Washburn University in Topeka. 2 balls and no strikes. Givens over at third. Here's the pitch, and on the corner for strike one. Good spot there by Hunter Larson. Ethan Payne catching for the Broncos. Broncos have a lot of players from our good friends at the Scots of Alma College, Utah Valley State. Cisco, I see Cisco. That's a junior college, isn't it? Cisco Junior College, Texas. Yeah, so Utah, Michigan, Texas. But the Broncos have had some misfortune missing out on some players, pitchers especially. So they are actively searching. Here's a ball to short. This will score the run, and Larson's going to beat it out. Not a great read at short there for Catlett. And it'll be an infield single, I would imagine. Can't really call it an error, can you? And an RBI for Javis Larson. Credit Givens, though, stealing 2 bases. So a walk, steal, and a ground ball manufactures a run. Caleb Cox steps in for Mulvane, and first pitch swinging. It hits off the mound over to the second baseman to short for 1, over to first. Double play. 4-6-3 for El Dorado, and they're out of the inning. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. After a half inning of play, it's Mulvane 1 and El Dorado coming to bat. Nice to have you tuned in. You're watching and listening to Bronco Baseball on YouTube. So we come to the bottom of the first inning. Batting order for the Broncos. It's Pete Carvalho leading off, Jared Coyne second, Tanner Sheets third, Austin Toth bats fourth, Ethan Payne fifth, Maddox Solomon sixth. Batting seventh is Connor Allen, eighth is Jordan Anstandig, and batting ninth, Tucker Catlett. First pitch to Carvalho is in there for strike one, and the second pitch is just a little bit up and in, 1 ball and 1 strike. For Mulvane, not in the field. In left field is Garrett Chalker. The center fielder is Keone Givens, and the right fielder is Javis Larson. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that one dives down low, ball 2. Around the infield, Learley's at third base. Turner Lace is at shortstop. The second baseman is Mason Goad, and at first base, Caleb Cox. Here's the 2-1 pitch, skied high in the air. Second baseman drifting out. Right fielder comes in. That's Larson, and he makes the catch for the first out. Catching for Mulvane is Dawson Ceramic, and pitching. So let's see. That is James Leach out there, number 23, pitching for Mulvane. Our good friend Jarrett Coyne coming up for El Dorado. And Coyne hits it. That was first pitch swinging again, wasn't it? I was just looking down out to left field for the second out. So Tanner Sheets will stand in. Tanner Sheets was with the Broncos last year, and he's batting in the third hole here. He looks high at ball 1. James Leach pitching for Mulvane. He, along with many of these Patriots, playing at Cowley County Community College, and Cowley had an outstanding year. One awful day where they lost to Barton County twice and did not advance to the Junior College World Series in Grand Junction, Colorado. Fastball in there, a beauty. 2 balls and a strike. Quickly working here is Leach. That one gets away from the catcher, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Tanner Sheets out of Sugar Land, Texas. Here's a 3-1 pitch with 2 away, and this one's rifled into right center field. That'll be down in extra bases. Sheets around first, on his way to second. Will he get greedy here? He will. He makes the turn, and he should make it. He will. Sliding in. Good backup by the pitcher, Leach, and it's a 2-out triple for Tanner Sheets. Hit that on a rope out to right center field. No chance for the center fielder out there, Keone Givens. So the Broncos a chance to tie this game up. It's 1-0 Mulvane. And here's Austin Toth, 6 foot, 175-pounder from Pine Bluff. Is that Arkansas, Pine Bluff? Home University of, yeah, okay. 1-0 pitch, and it's bounced out towards third, and the pick is not going to be made, and that will get a run in, and so Gary's going to look. Yeah, I got to agree with that. No RBI for Toth. That's going to be an error on the third baseman. A tough play, but not an impossible play there for Learley. Just couldn't come up with the short hop, and so the Broncos tie it up 1-1. And here's Ethan Payne, the catcher. Ethan Payne looks at strike one from Benicia, California. 6'1", 185. Goes to Utah Valley State. James Leach on the hill. And the pitch, and that one's bounced in. Nice stop by the catcher, Ceramic. And it's a ball and a strike. Toth, the runner at first base for El Dorado. And the pitch, and this one's chopped toward third, just foul. Gloved over there by Learley. So a ball and 2 strikes. Feel a little bit of breeze coming here in the press box, but I look at the flagstick out on top of the McDonald Stadium Brad Long Field scoreboard. Barely moving. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner going. This one in the turf, and that's going to be a stolen base. Austin Toth stealing second base, and it'll be a 2-2 count here on Ethan Payne. Hopefully the audio is coming across all right. I haven't heard any comments one way or the other. First night using this gear, so any of your comments always helpful. You can chat with me if you're watching on the YouTube stream. You can also email me. Our email address is Caden Broadcasting. That's CADEN, Caden Broadcasting at gmail.com. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Payne. Played pretty much straight away here by the Patriots. And the pitch, and this one's shot out into center field. Givens goes back, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. But the Broncos get a run on a hit, an error, and 1 left. So after 1 complete here from McDonald Stadium, it's Mulvane 1, El Dorado 1. You're watching and listening to Bronco Baseball here on YouTube. And welcome back here for the top of the second inning. Mulvane 1 and El Dorado 1. Bryson Learley will lead it off for the Mulvane Patriots. Here in the top of the second, Learley from northeastern Oklahoma. And the first pitch from Hunter Larson is in there for strike 1. Always good to be back here at McDonald Stadium. Good place to watch a game as Learley looks at strike 2. Crowd is generally in the shade here. Players have to suffer. Always toughest to be in right field, first base. As you get into 7:30, 8 o'clock here as the sun starts dipping down. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Learley. Learley followed by Lace and Chalker. The 1-2 outside, 2-2. Again, our email address is cadenbroadcasting@gmail.com. Regular listeners and watchers of our games know that I always enjoy getting photos of how you're watching or listening to the game. Swing and a miss, and Payne gathered it, looking at first. Now he'll go down to third instead, and they'll throw it around. So a strikeout of Learley. So 1 away, and here's Turner Lace. Turner Lace goes to school just, would you say down the road in Wichita or up the road? Usually you say up the road, don't you? But the Wichita's not really up the road from here. Newman University. And first pitch swinging, hit out into right field, slicing towards the right fielder, and caught by Toth. Carvalho was giving chase, but that one with the wind blowing out of the north and the right-handed batter kind of slicing that one, just kind of kept fading towards Toth, and he makes the catch. So 2 away for the Patriots, and here's Garrett Chalker. Garrett Chalker plays his college baseball right here in El Dorado. First pitch swinging out to short. Catlett's got it. Throw to first, and a very efficient 1-2-3 inning for Hunter Larson. 3 up and 3 down. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Our score: Mulvane 1, El Dorado 1. You're watching and listening to Bronco Baseball on YouTube. And welcome back here. Kurt Caden with you from McDonald Stadium. Nice to have you watching and listening. We have, it looks like about 24 of you out there watching and listening right now. So if you're a first timer, nice to have you. We'll have every home game, except I shouldn't say that. Wednesday, I will not be here for Wednesday's game. More on that shortly, but pretty much every home game will be on YouTube here. 2 balls and no strikes to Maddox Solomon. Maddox Solomon, 6'3", 235 out of the beautiful city of San Antonio. And he's ahead here, and he slices one towards right field, towards the fence, and out of here. Solomon, it didn't look like he caught it squarely there. And first at bat in an El Dorado Bronco uniform. Gary has been covering the Broncos for a number of years, and Maddox Solomon, in 3 pitches, takes it to right field. Maddox Solomon, I was just about to talk about him because just his framework and everything, it looks like he's going to be fun to watch this summer. And El Dorado leads 2-1. Guess I'll brag or jabber about Maddox next time he comes up. Tell you what, the batters, for the most part, of course, I probably shouldn't say anything, but batters are coming up looking to hit. Pitchers are putting it in there. We've got a good pace going here through an inning and a half. James Leach with the pitch, and that one is low. So it's 3 balls and a strike. 2-1 El Dorado. And Connor Allen, the batter, out of Plano, Texas. And the 3-1, a mighty rip, but he missed it, 3-2. Now I've been on our YouTube stream here. Matt the Maddox has been chatting with me. I wonder if that's any relation to Maddox Solomon. There's ball 4 to Connor Allen. And so Jordan Anstandig will come up for the Broncos. Anstandig, 5'7", 160, West Bloomfield, Michigan. And he's one of our Alma Scots here in El Dorado. Now Josh Riggs didn't come back. He might come back or not? No. Fun in this gig, getting to know folks get to meet them a lot of times during the Parents' Weekend, and then become Facebook friends and keep up to date with what they're doing. And the Riggs family kept up to date with them with the coins as well. So glad Jared is back here. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Anstandig, it's a pitcher's pitch there, and it's 2-2. Looked like knees on the black. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A leadoff home run by Solomon here in the inning. And now leading too soon, it looks like, is Allen. And he is going to be picked off. 1-6. Caught stealing. So 1 away for El Dorado. And Anstandig's looking at a 2-ball, 2-strike count. And the pitch from Sheets, and that one's shot out to right field on 3 hops, and a leadoff or a single, first at bat for Anstandig. And here's Tucker Catlett. So Tucker Catlett listed as one of the 3 catchers on the roster here, but he's playing shortstop. Guys, I tell you what, when they're in college, they can play about every position, it seems like. They've probably played them all on their way from minor league, little league, senior league, Legion, high school, college. You play where they need you. First delivery in there by a Leach is in there, and it's no balls and a strike. James Leach out of Cowley County. And the 0-1 curveball or slider there. That one dipped down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom of the 2nd inning, El Dorado 2, Mulvane 1. And that one's high. 2 balls and a strike. The order turns over for El Dorado if avoiding a double play is Catlett. Carvala, the leadoff man, is in the on-deck circle for El Dorado. 2 balls and a strike, and the pitch is a little bit inside, 3-1. Mulvane plays in the I always forget the name of it. They're in there with Wellington. Here's a 3-1 pitch, fouled off. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Toby Reuter returns as the manager here for El Dorado. Was an assistant under Chad Gerwick for a couple of years, and now in his 2nd year as the head man for the Broncos. Here's a 3-2, and this one's hit up the middle, a base hit. So the bottom of the Bronco order. How about this? Home run, walk. Now caught stealing, yes. Single. So runners at first and second, and here's Pete Carvalho. He's 0 for 1. He flew out to right field his first time. 2-1, El Dorado. And the pitch from Leach, and that one kind of got in on the hands of Carvalho, and he fouled it off into the Mulvane dugout. So no balls and a strike. Leach wants a new sign. And he's got it. No balls and a strike. And the pitch to Carvalho. And he looks to bunt. That one's bounced in there. And over to third base is Anstandig. But Catlett got a late start down to second. And he's gunned down. So Anstandig is over at third. And Catlett is cut down 2-6, it looked like. So 2 outs coming on the base pads for El Dorado here in the 2nd. And there's a pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Pete Carvalho. Looking to come up with a 2-out hit here for El Dorado. And the pitch, and it didn't mean to, and it bounces foul. I thought maybe the spin, it might come back into play, but it did not, and Carvalho will come back. Kind of an excuse me emergency swing there. El Dorado with 4 hits already here in this game. A triple by Sheets, a homer by Solomon, and singles by Anstandig and Catlett. And Carvalho with the pitch. That's high from Leach. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Deuces are wild, and the pitch. High chopper out to shortstop. That's gloved by Lace over to first in time to retire Carvalho. And that is the end of the inning for El Dorado. Boy, a promising inning. They still get a run, but it looked like they could have done even more damage. A couple of outs out on the base pads. They score 1 run on 3 hits. No errors and 1 man left on. After 2 complete from McDonald Stadium, it's El Dorado 2, Mulvane 1. This is Bronco Baseball on YouTube. Top of the 3rd inning here from El Dorado. Broncos 2, Patriots 1. Non-league game here tonight. Season and home opener for El Dorado. Unable to get the game in last night. And league play begins Monday, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that right, Gary? Does Monday? Tuesday. Tuesday is on the road. Wednesday is home. And we'll not have coverage of Wednesday's game. Yours truly is heading to Oregon. That'll be the only one I miss. 1 ball, 1 strike, and a challenge fastball. Wave and a miss by Ceramic, and it's 1-2. Ceramic plays his college ball at Fort Hays State. Hunter Larson in a groove. He's moving. And that's a ball, 2-2. Ceramic, Bialik, and Givens. And the 2-2. Good zip on that, but it was high. Actually, the next batter, I don't know. His number doesn't match up with what we've got. And I don't have a 5 on the roster. Larson was ahead, but lost. Ceramic. It is Beard. Devin Beard from Cowley College. There was some confusion whether Beard would be here. He was en route. And I don't know when he got here to El Dorado. It probably worked out good that they're finally now here in the 3rd inning at the bottom of the order. I'm guessing that worked out well for them. So Devin Beard, who is another Cowley County Tiger, bats with Ceramic over at first base, a leadoff walk. And the pitch from Larson, that's in there, strike 1. Hunter Larson has given up 1 run, 2 walks, 1 strikeout through 2 innings plus. Throw over to first and safe. Devin Beard. No balls and a strike. And here's one shot out into the Mulvane bullpen. I don't know if one of the relievers down there just wanted to get a little work. He took off like that thing was screaming at him. Might have just wanted to get up and stretch those legs. No balls and 2 strikes here to Beard, right-handed batter. Hunter Larson with the pitch and a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Beard is a strikeout casualty, and that'll turn the order over. Here's Keona Givens, who walked, stole second, stole third, and scored on a infield single. The true definition of just manufacturing right there by Mulvane in the top of the first inning. And a throw over to first, and Sramick is back. El Dorado's had a history of getting really big first basemen. And Maddox Solomon over at first base really fits that bill. And Givens squared and watches the curveball drop in there for strike 1. Shook his head, either a little dejected that he didn't go ahead and go with the bunt, or thought that that was not a strike. No balls and 1 strike here to Givens. And the pitch high, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Complete schedule for the Broncos, if you're curious, online at eldoradobroncos.org. 1 ball, 1 strike. Good lead by Sramick off of first. He's staying there. And the pitch, that one looked like it came out of Larson's hand a little funky and stayed upstairs. 2-1. He'll go behind the mound, get his hand dried off. Givens, Keone Givens, a Butler County player. 2 balls and a strike, and the pitch, and this one's shot high into the air, popped out to second base, and settling under it is Anstandig, and he's got the catch. So 2 away, and here's former Bronco Mason Goad. Mason Goad, 0 for 1, popped out to second base his first time. Runner at first is Sramick. He led off the inning with a walk. And the first pitch to Goad is hit into the net. No balls and 1 strike. Mason Goad, I think he played 2 years here, didn't he? 2 years for the Broncos? 1 for sure. Always good to see my good friend Gary, maybe the best statistician I've ever been around. And for 2 months, I get to enjoy his numbers and information and baseball talk. Goad shoots one up the middle, and that's a base hit. Sramick looking over at third, but he'll settle in there. So a 2-out single by Goad. And they've got runners at first and second. And here comes Javis Larson. Larson had an infield single. The lefty bounced one out to short and was able to beat it out for an infield single RBI. Now he comes up with 2 runners on, 2 away. And Hunter Larson deals with Javis Larson. 2-1 El Dorado here in the bottom of the second inning. And the pitch, and that one's outside, ball 1. Look forward to getting to know our new fans, parents, grandparents, uncles, aunts, sisters, brothers, as you watch your sons play this summer here in El Dorado. 1-0, Javis Larson, a fly ball out to center field, and Carvalho's under it. He's got the catch, and that will end the inning. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 left, and after 2.5 innings, it's El Dorado 2, Mulvane 1. More in a moment here on YouTube. And welcome back here to El Dorado. Jarrett Coyne will lead it off for the Broncos. Coyne, Sheets, and Toth, 2, 3, 4. And Coyne hits the third base bag. That's a fair ball and a base hit for Jarrett Coyne. Coyne, that's 2 pitches he's seen tonight. He was first pitch swinging in the first inning and first pitch swinging here in the third. That bouncer literally was ranging behind the bag, and it never got there because it hit the front right corner of that third base bag. So here's Tanner Sheets, who tripled to right center field his first time. And first pitch in there for strike one. .59, 190, Tanner Sheets. And the pitch, swing and a miss, strike two. Ben Reuter, my first emailer of the 2018 season. And Ben likes that early aggressive play, which is good. You like aggressive play. A couple of Broncos thrown out on the base pads in that second inning, but got to be aggressive to win in this game. Not always going to work. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Sheets. 2-1, El Dorado, bottom half of the third inning. Coyne leads at first, and that one bounces in. Good read by Coyne. And it'll be 2-2. If you want to join Ben Reuter, our email address is Caden Broadcasting, Caden, cadenbroadcasting@gmail.com. Here's a 2-2 pitch. And Sheets hits this one a long way out to left center field. Going back and up against the wall. Coyne around second on his way to third, and he's being waved home. Here's a throw home. It's going to be in time, and Coyne is out. And it'll be, I'm guessing, a double for Tanner Sheets, and he goes to third. So Coyne is retired 8-6-2. Tanner Sheets with a triple and a double. Gary and I could get used to seeing that. And here's for a first pitch hit by Toth out to right field. Well, that hit something in right field. I thought maybe it was going to shoot past the right fielder Larson out there, but it just popped up. But a RBI single for Austin Toth. And the Broncos lead 3-1. Tell you what, the Broncos, that's at least 3 hits they've gone to the right side from right-handed batters. So that is that's definitely encouraging. You had the home run, the triple went to right center, that base hit there. When you can see guys go the other way and just be able to punch it out there, that's really a good sign. Ethan Payne flew out to center field his first time. 1 ball and no strikes. Toth over at first, and this one fouled back. Toth reached on an error his first time, stole second, now an RBI single. And the 1-1 is down and in. 2 balls and a strike. Aggressive play by the Broncos, but on the downside to that, they've had 3 runners thrown out on the base pads here in the first 2+ innings, 2 1/3 innings. Here's the pitch, curveball, and that one's rifled out to center, but right at the center fielder, and he dropped it. And making it Toth going from first to third. The center fielder, Givens, again, the wind is out of the north. It's not gusting or anything, but it is holding it up a little bit from left center field. Off the bat, that looked like it might go a long way. I think the wind might have held it up, and Givens actually misjudged it. And Toth, aggressive, kept running, and Givens' throw actually came into second. And by the time they threw it over to third, Toth was there. So an error on the center fielder, and here is Maddox Solomon. I'm guessing an error. I didn't hear Gary yell error, but I think I could assume that one. So Maddox Solomon, who hit an opposite field home run his first time. The 0-1 and a miss, 0-2. Gary and I both reared back in our chairs there. Solomon's got a mighty whack. Maddox Solomon, San Antonio, Cisco College. And trying the outside corner, just off there by Leach. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Austin Toth over at third, Ethan Payne at first. 1 away for El Dorado here in the home half of the 3rd inning. Broncos lead 3-1. And the pitch, and that one's low. Good read at first base by Payne. And he'll get a steal. So now Solomon with 2 runners in scoring position. 1 away here for El Dorado. 2-2 pitch. Curveball is outside, 3-2. Connor Allen waits on deck for El Dorado. And the pitch. And that was close. Oh, and they rung him up. So a strikeout looking, Maddox Solomon. So here's Connor Allen. He walked and then was caught stealing, right? That's what he was. And he looks at strike 1 here from Leach, who's really bearing down in a tough situation. 3-1 El Dorado here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Broncos with single runs in each of the first 3 innings so far, looking to add more. And the 0-1, that one's low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, if you were a Bronco viewer last year, you may notice the absence of the score box that we've been able to use the last couple of years. Don't have that gear now. And Allen got under this one a bit, but it drives it deep out to right field. Larson trying to get a beat on it and does. That's a tough catch, looking up into the sun, the wind blowing, kind of slicing it. And Larson makes a nice catch out near the warning track. So the Broncos strand a couple, but they score 1 on 3 consecutive hits. There was an error. And we head to the 4th inning. It's El Dorado 3, Mulvane 1. And welcome back here. Kurt Caden with you from El Dorado. Broncos 3, Patriots 1. Caleb Cox will lead it off for Mulvane here in the top of the 4th inning. Hunter Larson still on the mound. Early in the year and late in the season, you'll see a lot of managers using a lot of players and just getting people experience. Of course, the Broncos are a little slim on pitching right now. 2 balls and no strikes. No one warming at this time in the El Dorado bullpen. 2 balls and no strikes and 3-0. Caleb Cox hit into a 4-6-3 double play to end the first inning. And he'll look at ball 4. So 4 out of the zone. And the third walk of the night issued by Hunter Larson. Then they've all been leadoff walks. The first one came around to score, and he was able to work around the second one. So here's Bryson Learley. Learley struck out his first time, 0 for 1. And Larson's high on ball 1. Nice thing is, last year with the camera I had, I could zoom in and get the number. Now I got to trust my old eyes and see if I can see the number. Curveball in there for strike 1. Looks like Daniel Nelson is going to go down and warm up for El Dorado. 1 ball, 1 strike to Learley. And this one's shot out to short. Catlett's got it over to Anstandig for 1 to first, not in time. So fielder's choice. And 1 away, and that'll bring up Turner Lace. Lace flew out to right field his first time. And looking inside, ball 1. 1 run on 2 hits so far for Mulvane. Javis Larson had an infield single in the first inning, and Mason Goad had a clean single in the third. Curveball in there for strike 1. Lace didn't love the call. 1 ball and 1 strike. Modest lead for Learley over at first. And the pitch from Larson. And that's in there for strike 2. And Hunter is really working the inner third of the plate. One ball, 2 strikes. And Lace wants to tighten up his batting gloves. One ball, 2 strikes here to Lace, and the pitch, and this one's going to be chopped foul. The links for our games here will always be on my YouTube channel, probably within 30 minutes of game time, all the game times, except for there's a doubleheader later in the season, but generally it's 7 p.m. Start times here at McDonald Stadium, and this one's fouled off the foot of Lace. One ball, 2 strikes. Garrett Chalker waiting on deck for Mulvane. And the 1-2, and this one's hit towards third off the glove of Sheets. And that'll skip into left field. That'll be an error on the Bronco third baseman. So a walk, a fielder's choice, and an error. Mulvane with runners at first and second with 1 away. And Garrett Chalker up there. He grounded out to Catlett at shortstop his first time. And the first pitch to Chalker is high, ball one. One ball and no strikes to Garrett Chalker. 2-0. Chalker playing at Butler County Community College. Ethan Payne visiting with Hunter Larson. Learley at second, Lace at first. 2 balls and no strikes to Chalker. And hit hard, but into the Mulvane bullpen. Foul ball. Two balls and a strike, and turning away from that one is Chalker. 3 balls and a strike. So Larson's going to have to bear down here. 3 balls and a strike to Chalker. And a foul tip into Payne's glove. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. Three to 1 El Dorado here in the top of the 4th inning. And the pitch, and spoiled by Chalker. We'll do it again. Learley off a second, Lace off a first. Full count here to Garrett Chalker. And a foul tip, just out of the glove of Payne. So a good battle here between Larson and Chalker. Broncos with kind of a modest home schedule in June. It's pretty heavy at home in July. I think there's a stretch where 14 out of 15 nights we're got games here at El Dorado's McDonald's Stadium. Another 3-2 pitch coming up to Chalker. And this one's chopped toward third. Sheets took it on a short hop, not going to have a play, throws it away. It hits the runner. Solomon's got a chance at home. Here's the play, and they got him. So some good fortune for El Dorado there. Sheets couldn't figure out if he wanted to get it on the big hop, the short hop. He got it in between, bobbled it, and an errant throw to first hit off of the runner right back to Solomon, who fired to Payne, and they retired Learley. So, there's an error on the... So Chalker reaches on an error, but 3-2, Learley is thrown out, and the Broncos are an out away from getting out of this mess. 1 ball and no strikes to Devin Ceramic. Ceramic walked his first time. So Lace is over at third base. Chalker at first. Chalker leaning, and he will go. And the pitch, Payne throws down to second, not in time. And it'll be a stolen base. Two and 0 to Dawson Sramick. Right-handed batter is Sramick from Fort Hays. Former Bronco Roger Cruz, who's from California, after 2 years playing in California, he went to Fort Hays during the college season. 3-0 here to Sramick. Runners at second and third. 3-1 El Dorado. And that one's high, ball 4. And that'll bring up Beard and a mound visit for El Dorado. Larson really cruised, you could say, through the first 3 innings. A walk, an infield single, and a double play in the first inning. 3 up, 3 down in the second. A walk and a single, but nothing given up in the third. But here in the 4th inning, a leadoff walk, a fielder's choice, a couple of errors, a stolen base, another walk. No one has scored yet for Mulvane. They've got 2 away. Bases loaded for Devin Beard, who struck out his first time. Three to 1 Broncos, top of the 4th inning. And a big first pitch for Larson to get ahead. He's been playing from behind this entire inning. No balls and a strike to Beard. And the pitch, and took something off there, and a swing and a miss by Beard, 0-2. Maddox Solomon over at first. He's found some shade to stand behind and get a little better look at the plate. Mulvane's first base coach shielding his eyes. And the 0-2 stays up high. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the 1-2 fouled out of play. 30th pitch of the inning. Larson had 21 pitches through the first 2 innings, probably about 15 or so in the third, and this has been a taxing inning. But if he can get out of it with nothing across, he'll feel pretty good. Bases loaded for Mulvane. 1-2, the pitch, fouled back. And hello to John Reuter, watching and listening tonight. Again, a little bit of a different camera. Hopefully that looks okay. Cannot zoom in and out. We don't have the score box, but everything else is about the same. Here's the 1-2. Curveball hit out into left field. And making the catch for El Dorado is Jarrett Coyne. So, yeah, the second baseman from last year out in left field. And Mulvane leaves them loaded. No runs on no hits. 2 errors. 3 left. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. El Dorado 3, Mulvane 1. This is Bronco Baseball on YouTube. And welcome back here to El Dorado. Bottom of the fourth inning. Broncos 3, Patriots 1. And one of those Alma Scots. It's Jordan Standig leading off for El Dorado. He singled, reached third back in the second inning. Both teams have squandered some pretty nice scoring opportunities. The Broncos did score one in the second, but they had runners at second and third with one out and couldn't score them. Mulvane just left the bases loaded. And Standig cues one foul. 2 balls and a strike. James Leach remains out on the hill for Mulvane. And Standig, a 5'7", 160-pounder from West Bloomfield, Michigan. Chops one towards first. Nice play over there. Toss over to Leach. And did he get the base? He did. He just barely got it. I'm not sure if he was sold on it. And he reached again, didn't get it, but did get the corner the first time. So, and Standig is retired 3-1. Cox to Leach. So here's Tucker Catlett. He singled his first time. And he backs out of the way of a inside curveball. 1 ball and no strikes. The 1-0, and boy, Catlett hits this a mile high, drifting close to the foul line. It stays fair, and it's caught out in left field by Garrett Chalker. Just missed that one, did Catlett. 2 away, and Pete Carvalho will stand in. He's 0 for 2. And a hello to the Coyne clan, Michelle Coyne. Watching and listening, and there's a ball just foul. Gloved over there by Caleb Cox. Hope the Coynes are doing well up in Michigan. No balls and a strike to Carvalho, and this one's hit towards second base. Mason Goads got it over to first, and they retire Carvalho 4-3. 3 up, 3 down for Leach and Mulvane in the fourth. We'll head to the fifth inning. Our score, El Dorado 3, Mulvane 1. And welcome back here to El Dorado. Some changes for the Broncos. The battery has changed. Now catching for El Dorado is Brady Sargent, a 6'3", 230-pounder from Utah Valley State. And on the hill for the Broncos is Daniel Nelson, and he's 6'4", 210. From Crosby, Texas, goes to Cisco. And Keone Givens will lead it off for Mulvane. Here in the top of the fifth inning, 3-1 El Dorado. And Givens lays down a bunt, and that one got underneath the pitcher Nelson. Going to give him a hit. Boy, Givens is quick. Generally, you don't want to bunt back to the pitcher, but boy, actually a little hopper like that by Givens, as quick as he is. And Mulvane has Mason Goad up at the plate and the speedy Givens over at first. Givens already leaning, not going, and Goad looks at a fastball high and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Former Bronco Mason Goad, 1 for 2 here from Mulvane. And the curveball stayed upstairs, 2-0. Shadows across the pitcher's mound, kind of in and out over at first base. Into shallow left. Nelson can really zing it in there, but he's missing the zone right now, 3-0. Mulvane bullpen, some of those guys starting to get their arms stretched out. And that's in there for strike 1. 3 balls and a strike to Mason Goad. 3-1 here with Givens over at first. See if they put him in motion. They don't, and the 3-1 is a little bit up, and a walk to Goad. So Mulvane's got something cooking again here in the 5th. Javis Larson, 1 for 2. An RBI infield single in the 1st inning and a fly out to center field in the 3rd. Runners at 1st and 2nd, and Larson will bunt it. Nelson's got it, throws to first. Close play, and he's safe. Anstandig was moving towards the base, looking to catch and touch the base. Javis Larson runs pretty well. And Toby Reuter's going to come out and see if he wants to hear what the umpire saw. That'll be a base hit. Really one of the, at this level, of course, no instant replay. That was a bang-bang, kind of a 50-50 call. Whichever way it was going to go, it was going to irritate the other half. So Caleb Cox stands in. Mulvane with the bases loaded for the 2nd time in as many innings. This time with no outs. 3-1 El Dorado, top of the 5th inning. And the first pitch in there for a strike. Caleb Cox 0 for 1 officially. Grounded into a double play and walked. And the 0-1. 1-1. Broncos are home Wednesday. No coverage of Wednesday night's game. And Nelson finds the strike zone there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bryson Learley waits on deck. And the 1-2. And a swing and a miss. Oh, he just tipped it. And Sargent unable to secure it. So another chance for Caleb Cox. Caleb Cox from Arkansas Little Rock. And the 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Some outside gas. And a big strikeout for Daniel Nelson. So 1 away, and here's Learley. 3-1 El Dorado. They scored 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd. Mulvane scored 1 in the 1st. And that's just outside, ball 1. Nelson really has a quick windup. He gets his sign. Glove stays at the hip, and he brings it in. He's got good arm strength. 6'4". And that one's in there for strike one. 1 ball and 1 strike to Learley. 0 for 2, a strikeout and a fielder's choice. And fouled into the turf. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Learley. Turner Lace waits on deck for Mulvane. And the 1-2 pitch, and it's outside, 2-2. Mulvane fans, if you're watching, feel free to, love to hear from you as well. Our email address, cadenbroadcasting@gmail.com. Always fun to hear from the visiting side. Nelson misses outside, and now a full count. Bases loaded for Mulvane. 1 away here in the top of the 5th inning. 3-1 El Dorado. And the pitch is just foul tipped. So another full count pitch coming up to Bryson Learley. And this one's hit towards second. Anston gobbles it up over to second for 1 to first. Got the double play. 4-6-3. What a turn and a terrific play by Anstandig to start it. Catlett had a good zip over to first and a double play. So the first 3 reach a strikeout and a double play, and we're halfway through for McDonald Stadium. El Dorado 3, Mulvane 1. Back in a moment on YouTube. So El Dorado gets out of big trouble in the top of the 5th. They've got 2-3-4 coming up here in the bottom of the 5th inning with a 3-1 lead. And Jarrett Coyne will lead it off. And first pitch swinging again. So that's 3 pitches, 3 hits, and this one out to left field. And coming in and making the catch for Mulvane there was Garrett Chalker. Jarrett Coyne has been ready to swing. Tanner Sheets has been kind of the offensive star to this point. 2 for 2, a triple and a double, and 2 runs scored. He shot a laser beam into right center field his first time. And then a deep one off the wall, one hop the wall, his second at bat. And now he's ahead 2-0. Two balls and no strikes to Tanner Sheets. And the pitch from Leach, and Sheets got under this one, popped up on the infield, foul territory, and that'll be caught by Ceramic. So 2 away for El Dorado, and here's Austin Toth. And the first time for Toth to come up with no one on base. Reached on an error in the first inning and an RBI single in the third. And this one's flared out into right field. Second baseman heads out there. That's Mason Goad with the catch. And that's 8 in a row retired by James Leach. 3 up, 3 down for El Dorado in the 5th. We'll go to the 6th inning. Broncos 3, Patriots 1. Top of the 6th inning here from El Dorado. Broncos lead 3-1. Turner Lace will lead it off. And Michelle Coyne, one of our faithful viewers last year, wants to know if I could put that score and outs and everything up. I wish I could. I don't have that computer. So we will have to go with me trying to say the score and as often as I can. First pitch is out of the zone, ball 1. Second inning of work here for Dennis Nelson for El Dorado. And this one's shot out to right field, and that'll dunk right in, just behind second, right in front of the right fielder Toth. So a leadoff single for Turner Lace. Top of the 5th inning, Givens had a bunt single. Goad walked. Javis Larson had an infield single, but then a strikeout and a double play. Here's Garrett Chalker. And he looks at strike 1. Nelson with a curveball. No balls and 1 strike. Throw over to first, and Lace is back. No balls and a strike to Garrett Chalker. He's 0 for 2. Looks at ball 1. Chalker had a lengthy at bat his last time up against Hunter Larson. Finally reached on an error. 1-1 pitch and a swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 3-1 El Dorado here in the top of the 6th inning. And the 1-2 is in there for strike 3. Not much argument from Chalker. That'll bring up Dawson Sramick. Sramick has walked each time. Both against Hunter Larson. First time seeing Dennis Nelson. And the inside fastball in there for strike 1. Beautiful night here at McDonald Stadium. No balls and a strike to Sramick. And that one's right in there for strike 2. Dennis Nelson from Crosby, Texas. Has a lot of zip on his fastball, live arm. No balls, 2 strikes. Sargent sets up on the outer third, and that one's fouled off. Ethan Payne started at the catcher position for El Dorado. And this is the Second inning behind the dish for Brady Sargent. No balls and 2 strikes. 3-1 El Dorado. And the pitch, runner going. That pitch is low. This one's in the turf, but right on the foot and an out. Sargent to Anstandig to cut down Lace. So 2 away. One ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch and a swing and a miss. So a couple of strikeouts. And the leadoff single doesn't hurt El Dorado. No runs, a hit, no errors, nobody left. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. El Dorado 3, Mulvane 1. So bottom of the 6th inning here. And our first look at Brady Sargent, the batter. Right-handed batter. And the first pitch, new pitcher for Mulvane is Braden Miner. Another young man from Cowley County. Mulvane's got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids from Cowley College down in Arkansas City. Sargent looks at strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sargent, Solomon, and Allen. The scheduled 3 for El Dorado here in the home half of the 6th inning. And Sargent lifts one out of play down the right side. Into the empty parking lot down there. No youth activities going on tonight. Of course, there's a lot of nights we'll be down here, and it's just a busy area with youth baseball and softball going on. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sargent. And he fouls this one off. Sargent gets a pretty big leg kick. His left leg goes way up in the air as he loads up and gets ready to punish the baseball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And that one's out of the zone. Pretty good performance by James Leach. Gave up 3 runs tonight, 7 hits. This one in the turf, and it's a full count. Defense slowed him down a little bit. The dropped ball out in center field in the 3rd inning allowed a run to score. 3-2 to Sargent, and the pitch, and that one's bounced foul. Turf infield here at McDonald Stadium, grass outfield. Three 7-2 for El Dorado, 1 5-2 for Mulvane. And the 3-2 pitch, that's outside, and a leadoff walk for Sargent. He got into a hole, fouled off a couple of pitches, and works a walk. And that'll bring up Maddox Solomon. Solomon had an impressive opposite field home run in the 2nd inning in his Bronco debut. It was the 3rd pitch, and he deposited out in right field. And looks at strike 1 from Minor. And the 0-1, a little bit outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lights have been turned on here at McDonald Stadium. The entire field in shadows as night falls in south central Kansas. And the pitch, and Solomon had tell you what, another good whack at it. Think of some of the big first basemen the Broncos have had. Slayton Vaughn comes to mind. Josh Riggs. Riggs is 3rd base, 1st base. Solomon behind on this one, but able to spray it foul anyway. Still 1-2. Sargent gets his lead off of first. And took a little something off in a strikeout of Solomon. And the first out for the Broncos here in the bottom of the 6th inning. That'll bring up Connor Allen, the DH. He walked back in the 2nd inning and walked and then flew out to right field in the 3rd. Up and in, a little music under the chin there for Connor Allen. The Broncos had 7 hits after 3 innings, but Sargent's their first base runner since the 3rd inning. And a strike to Allen. One ball and 1 strike to Connor Allen. Plano, Texas, 6'1", 200 pounds. And got fisted there, fouled it into the netting. So a ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch, Allen had a thought, held up, and it's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch into the turf, and Sargent will move over to second base on a wild pitch. Broncos have been aggressive on the base pads. That was a good read by Sargent. Once it bounced, he was already moving towards second. 1 away for El Dorado here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Broncos lead 3-1. And a walk to Allen. And that'll bring up Jordan Anstandig. He's 1 for 2. Sharp single in the 2nd inning and grounded out 3-1. in the fourth. Runners at first and second for El Dorado. And the pitch, and Anstandig couldn't pull the trigger, looks at strike one. No balls, one strike here to Anstandig. And he was out in front and tapped it foul. Tucker Catlett waits on deck for the Broncos. Of course, the goal of summer baseball here to make it to Wichita, and it'll be really special because it's the last year of Lawrence Dumont Stadium as they're going to tear that down. The NBC World Series. The end of July, early August. Admire these college guys. They start workouts even in the fall. Really crank it up in the winter. Start playing games in the entire spring. And then they come out here and play all summer. Two balls and two strikes to Anstandig. And that's outside, ball three. Sargent led off the inning with a walk. Solomon struck out. And Allen with a walk. And now 3-2 to Jordan Anstandig. 3-1 El Dorado here in the bottom of the sixth inning. And Anstandig shoots it out to center field. That's a clean single. Sargent will be held up as the ball came in and actually hit Caleb Cox, kind of ricocheted off the tip of his glove and knocked off his sunglasses that he has on his cap. So a clean single for Anstandig.
Number 6, shortstop.
Will load the bases. El Dorado tonight through 5 innings had left 4 men on base, all 4 in scoring position. Tucker Catlett will see if he can plate some of these guys. He looks at strike one. For Mulvane, their defense, the corners are in. The middle infield will play at double play depth. Their outfield look, I'll tell you what, the center fielder Givens, who has tremendous speed, is really playing shallow. And this one's shot up the middle, a base hit. Sargent will score. Coming around third, we're going to have a play at the plate and safe. 2 RBI single for Tucker Catlett as Connor Allen slides in safely. Staying at second base is Anstandig, and Tucker Catlett with a big hit there, a 2 RBI single, and the Broncos lead 5-1. And here's Pete Carvalho looking to get it going. He is 0 for 3. He is the only Bronco tonight not to reach base. Inside, ball one. Out in left field, it looks like Chalker's playing a little bit deeper. Then Givens at center looks a little shallow. We're in the right fielder. About normal position. Carvalho shoots one towards left, and it's foul ball. So a ball and 2 strikes, or a ball and 1. Is it 1-1? 5-1 El Dorado. Javis Larson is the right fielder for Mulvane. And the pitch to Carvalho is down and in. Two are in for El Dorado here in the 6th. And Carvalho looks at strike 2. Looked like he wanted to pull the trigger there, just couldn't. 2 balls and 2 strikes. course, all our games are archived here on my YouTube channel. You can go back and watch them. Carvalho able to fight that pitch off and hit it into foul territory. Mulvane's coach, where they started to run out, it looked like maybe to go have a mound visit and then hit the brakes and turn back around. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch is a high chopper towards third. Only 1 play to go. That'll be at first, and Carvalho's retired. Runners move up 90 feet, but now 2 away. And Jarrett Coyne. Jarrett Coyne's had an interesting night. He's 1 for 3, but he's only seen 3 pitches. He has first pitch swung each time up. Jarrett was thrown out at home in the 3rd inning. And the first pitch, and he'll see another one. 1 ball and no strikes. Jarrett Coyne last year was the mainstay at second base. He's out in left field tonight for the Broncos. Mom Michelle and I'm sure family watching. Here's the 1-0, and Coyne hits on out in the left center field, a base hit. 1 run is in, and they will hold up Cowett. Coyne will take the opportunity to go to second base on the throw. So an RBI single for Coyne. And here comes Tanner Sheets. Sheets has had good cuts. He's 2 for 3, a triple and a double and a pop-up. And it's 6-1 El Dorado, a 3 spot here in the 6th inning for El Dorado. 2 men out there for Sheets. He looks at strike 1. Miner's got his sign. No balls and a strike. And the pitch, that one's low and away. Good stop back there by Sramick. And it's 1-1. One pitch to Tanner Sheets. And that one's in there for strike 2. The Broncos now with 10 hits. 6 runs scored, and Sheets a swing and a miss. So 2 more left in scoring position for El Dorado, but they score 3 times in the 6th inning. They did it on 3 hits. No errors and 2 left after 6 complete. El Dorado 6, Mulvane 1. Top of the 7th inning here from McDonald Stadium. 6-10-2 for El Dorado. 1-6-2 for Mulvane. Devin Beard will lead it off. And Dennis Nelson out there for his 3rd inning of work is right down the middle for strike 1. Devin Beard 0 for 2 tonight, a strikeout in the 3rd. He flew out to left field in the 4th inning. That flyout in the fourth inning came with the bases loaded. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch, that one's a little bit low, 2-1. Top of the 7th inning here from El Dorado. And this one is high, 3-1. Mulvane has had their leadoff batter on 1, 2, 3, 5 out of the 6 innings. The leadoff man has reached for Mulvane. This pitch fouled into the netting, 3-2. The only time that the leadoff batter didn't get on for Mulvane was the only 1, 2, 3 inning. Of course, in the 6th inning, it was a leadoff single, but then a throw out and a couple of strikeouts. And this one's skied out into shallow left field. Jarrett Coyne coming in. Coyne still coming, and it's going to land in front of the center fielder, Carvalho. Catlett, the shortstop, was ranging towards left, and that one ended up just dunking right closer towards center field. So a base hit for Beard. 6 out of 7 now for Mulvane getting the leadoff guy on. And here's Keona Givens. Givens has looked to bunt. In fact, he did bunt his last time. And he'll take the first pitch high, ball 1. Top of the 7th inning here from El Dorado. And the 1-0 is inside, ball 2. We are playing 9 tonight, correct? Two balls and no strikes to Givens. And the pitch, and Givens fires it out to right field, and that's caught by Toth, quickly throwing back to first, and it was a closer play than I thought it was going to be, but sliding back safely is Beard. Good arm by Toth out and right. So a speedy base runner is eliminated there in Givens, and Mason Goad comes up. Goad is 1 for 2 with a walk tonight. And in the turf for ball 1. One ball and no strikes to Goad. Javis Larson waits on deck. And upstairs, 2-0. The Jayhawk League, which seems to be ever-changing. The Oklahoma City Indians are not in the league this year, but they are playing. They have a team, right? They have a team. Goad looks at ball 3. But they're not in league play. Of course, a couple years ago, we had, Bethany, Oklahoma. Here's a 3-0, and that one's low, and a 4-pitch walk to Goad. So the Broncos will look to wiggle out of trouble again here. The base paths have been busy tonight for Mulvane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 walks issued by Bronco pitching. There's been a couple of errors and 6 hits for Mulvane, but still just 1 run. Javis Larson, he's 2 for 3 with an RBI. And he's behind on the fastball, 0-1. But everyone in the Jayhawk League this year will play 3 at their place, 3 here. The 0-1. No longer are there divisions. It's just 1 league. Now, of course, what's There'll be 3-game series against the teams from the West in one location, but the teams closer, you'll kind of see them here and there, home and away. Then a couple weeks later, maybe another home and away. The full schedule can be seen on the Broncos website, www.eldoradobroncos.org. 2 balls and a strike to Javis Larson. Hasn't hit it out of the infield, but he's got 2 hits. This one's out of the infield, out to left center field. Jared Coyne and Carvalho will see it drop between them. That'll score 1. The throw will come into third. It'll be a stand-up double for Javis Larson. Just guided that one the other way. Nicely done. And Devin Beard scores. Moving over to third is Mason Goad. And Caleb Cox comes up there. Cox came on with a runner on in the first inning, hit into a double play, came up with 2 men on in the third inning and flew out. Or check that, walked in the fourth. I'm looking at a different lineup here. And then a strikeout, a big strikeout in the 5th inning with bases loaded and nobody out. So 0 for 2 is Cox with a walk. 0-1, and this one gets past Sargent, and that'll plate Goad. Wild pitch. For Larson, and Mulvane has come back with 2 after El Dorado scored 3 in the bottom of the 6th. 2 for Mulvane so far here in the top of the 7th. 6-3 El Dorado. 1 ball and 1 strike to Caleb Cox. And this pitch, a little bit away, 2-1. And the 2-1 is sprayed out of play, 2-2. Dennis Nelson with the pitch and tried the outside, missed outside, 3-2. And the 3-2 is fouled off by Cox into the fencing in front of the El Dorado bullpen. And the 3-2, a high chopper up the middle. Catlett takes it on the second hop. He's got time to retire Cox, but that'll drive in Larson. So an RBI ground out. Makes it 6-4. 2 away, and here's Bryson Learley. And a good answer here by Mulvane after El Dorado put 3 on the board in the bottom of the 6th to make it 6-1, 3 back for Mulvane. And it's 6-4. Nelson working quickly, 1 ball and 1 strike. And Learley hits this one into foul play, and that one will end up out of play. Learley is 0 for 3 tonight, but he hit into the defensively the play of the night for El Dorado. A ground ball up the middle that Anstandig was able to gobble up, flip over to Catlett for 1, and then over to first for a huge double play. That was with the bases loaded and 1 out. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here to Bryson Learley. Top of the 7th inning, 6-4, El Dorado. And this one over Nelson's head, but Catlett's got it at the tip of his glove, bobbled it, and the throw is late. Probably going to be an error. He snow-coned that one, and then when he went to pull it out of there, it bobbled. He gathered it and then was late on the throw. So it will be an error on Catlett, and that'll extend the inning here for Mulvane. Third infield error tonight for El Dorado. Swinging strike, no balls and a strike. Lace is 1 for 3. Singled to lead off the 6th inning, but then was thrown out trying to steal second. And this one's fisted out into right field. Toth coming on and will not be able to make the catch. And runners are at first and second with 2 out. Good decision, I think. If Toth lays out and dives for it, if he misses it, it goes behind him, and runners are moving. So a mound visit here for El Dorado. The bullpen is working. 6-4 Broncos. 2 away here in the top of the 7th inning. El Dorado is at Mulvane. They'll see Mulvane again on Monday. And at Derby on Tuesday. Home game here on June 6th, Wednesday. Again, I will not be here for that game on Wednesday, June 6th against the Derby Twins. Here's Garrett Chalker, and Chalker looks at strike 1. Next broadcast that I'll have for you will be June 11th, 12th, and 13th when the Dodge City A's come to El Dorado. The 0-1 pitch, and Chalker able to hold up. 1 ball and 1 strike. And this one sounded like a broken bat, grounded to third. Sheets has to get off, and he does, just a step in front of Chalker. 8 men come to the dish for Mulvane. They score 3 times. It's time to stretch at McDonald Stadium. El Dorado 6, Mulvane 4. And welcome back. The fans standing up and stretching it out here as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. The last 2 half innings, well, the El Dorado sent 8 to the plate in the bottom of the 6th. Mulvane sent 8 to the plate in the top of the 7th. Austin Toth will lead it off for El Dorado. And he's ahead 2-0. I think I've been saying Dennis Nelson. For some reason, I like the name Dennis. It's Daniel Nelson. Appreciate the little help out there from the audience. 3-0 here to Austin Toth. He's 1 for 3 tonight. 3 balls, no strikes, and the pitch in there for strike 1. Taking all the way was Toth. Austin Toth from Pine Bluff. And the 3-1 is low, and a leadoff walk for El Dorado. So here's Brady Sargent. Sargent started everything off for El Dorado in the 6th inning with a leadoff walk. He eventually came around and scored. And a fastball in there for strike 1. One ball, no strikes, and the pitch. Looks like a new pitcher, another Cali pitcher for Mulvane. Mark Hartley is out there now for Mulvane. Minor was number 15. I thought it didn't look like him, and it looks like number 25 out there on the hill for Mulvane. 2-0. And Sargent had a notion, couldn't pull the trigger. It's in there for strike 1. So 2 balls and a strike. 6-4 El Dorado. 6-10-3 for El Dorado. 4-10-2 for Mulvane. And the 2-1 pitch, runner on the move, and it's going to be a stolen base for Austin Toth. And it's a 3-1 count to Brady Sargent. And the 3-1 is low and in. I thought that was 3-1. They're saying it's still 3-1. And the pitch, Sargent off the fist, and that'll stay on the infield and caught out at shortstop by Turner Lace. So 1 away, and here's Maddox Solomon. Solomon, it's been feast or famine, a home run and 2 strikeouts. And Solomon hits this one into the turf. Running is Toth. Lace able to glove it and throw out Solomon at first. The runner advancing to third base, but now 2 away. That's one of those for the shortstop. Lace might have been enticing maybe to throw over to third, but his momentum was going towards first. Take the out. Instead of getting too creative there. Good read to Toth was going right when it was hit into the turf. So here's Connor Allen, and a nice stop by Ceramic behind the plate there to save a run. 1 ball and no strikes. Connor Allen has walked twice tonight, scored once, and flown out to right field. So 0 for 1 officially. And the 1-0 pitch and a check swing. 2-0. Now they're going to check. Nah, he did check it. They'll check for the check, and it's 2-0. Jordan Anstandig would be next if Allen can reach. And it's 3-0. And the pitch is outside. So a 4-pitch walk. Connor Allen with his 3rd walk tonight. So here's Anstandig, who's 2 for 3 with a run scored.
Second baseman, number 5, Jordan Anstandig.
You might remember his single in the 6th inning with runners at first and second was hit so sharply out to center field, didn't plate anyone. But Tucker Catlett came up with a 2 RBI single to give the Broncos a couple more runs. First pitch out of the zone, 1-0 to Anstandig. And a swing and a miss, strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. 6-4 El Dorado here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Outside, 2-1. Over at third base is Austin Toth. At first base, Connor Allen. And the pitch, and that one's in there. And it's 2-2. Couple of walks here in the 7th inning. One with a pop to short and a ground out to short. And a 2-2 pitch. And Anstandig with a good eye. 3-2. So Connor Allen will get a running start here. Caleb Cox is going to go play his position. And the 3-2. And Anstandig is going to be rung up. Inner, right at the knees on the inside corner. So no runs on no hits, no errors, and 2 left. We'll head to the 8th inning. El Dorado 6, Mulvane 4. So a new pitcher. And again, I apologize calling Daniel Nelson. I had Dennis Nelson. I was stuck on that one. Daniel Nelson out of the game, and the new pitcher is Dylan Denzel. Dawson Sramick leading off for Mulvane, and quickly behind 0-2. Sramick was the only Patriot not to bat in that 7th inning. That saw Mulvane score 3 times. The 0-2, and a swing and a miss in the turf. Sargent will have to throw down to first and complete the strikeout. So just the 2nd time tonight that Mulvane's leadoff batter has not reached. And here's Devin Beard. Beard 1 for 3, singled in the 7th. He was the one who hit the kind of a towering pop just behind short that dropped in there. And Denzel is all over the zone here as strike 1. Dylan Denzel from Alma College, Royal Oak, Michigan. 6'1", 190. And there's one out to second base, and a driving catch by Anstandig. Another marvelous web gem tonight by Jordan Anstandig at second base. That looked like it was slotted for right field. So 2 away very quickly here in the 8th. And the leadoff batter, the speedy Keone Givens. And he'll look at ball one. Two away from Mulvane here in the top of the eighth, and there's strike one. Another pitch in there. Denzel has been very sharp. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sargent sets up on the outside, and there's a foul ball right off the mask and into one of the rare foul balls that actually got over the netting, but underneath the roof. Sargent took that right off the top of the mask. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It remains to Givens. And the pitch. And that's in there for strike 3. A sparkling 1-2-3 inning for Denzel here in the 8th. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. El Dorado 6, Mulvane 4. New pitcher for the Mulvane Patriots, another former Bronco, Drake Harper. Pitching for the Patriots, and Tucker Catlett will lead it off for El Dorado here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 6-4 El Dorado. Dylan Denzel with a terrific top of the 8th inning. Got a little help from his college teammate, Jordan Anstandig, who made a beautiful catch of a line drive at second base. First pitch fouled off. Squaring around was Catlett. That curveball stayed upstairs. Ball 1. Harper last year, really a live arm. Had struggles at time with control, but boy, there's no question this young man can really bring heat. Swing and a miss, strike 2. If I remember last year with the off speed, the curveballs kind of got him in trouble. His fastballs were always pretty tough to hit. 1-2. And Catlett able to lift this one over shortstop and into center field for a leadoff single. Catlett is 3 for 4 tonight with 2 RBIs. Take that. And here comes Pete Carvalho. Again, Carvalho, kind of the hard luck guy tonight. He's 0 for 4. He's the only one who hasn't gotten on base by a walk or a hit or an error. And he looks upstairs at ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Drake Harper pitching. Pete Carvalho at the plate. Running is Catlett. Fastball swing and a miss and down to second. And the tag was just a little tardy. So Catlett with a stolen base. The throw was there, but the shortstop Lace had to kind of get it on a high bounce and try to pull it back down to get the tag. And getting in there was Catlett with a stolen base. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jarrett Coyne waits on deck. And Carvalho looked to bunt. Looked like he was actually bunting for a hit there. So 2 balls and a strike. Carvalho, 3 groundouts on the infield and a fly ball to right field. And that one nearly got away from Sramick. 3 balls and 1 strike. Catlett down at second base. And the 3-1. Swing and a miss. A little bit behind that fastball. 3-2. Three and two here. Nobody away for El Dorado in the home half of the 8th inning. And the 3-2, a swing and a miss. So Harper was behind 3-1, came back and got the strikeout. And here's Jarrett Coyne. Jarrett Coyne tonight, 2 for 4 with an RBI. And the runner is going to be picked off. Catlett drifted a little too far off. Drake Harper stepped off and able to throw him out. So now 2 away for El Dorado. And another out on the base pads tonight for the Broncos. And Coyne looks at ball 1. Base is empty, 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the 1-0 pitch to Coyne. Hit up the middle. And a great glove play at second base by Goad over to first to retire his former teammate, Jarrett Coyne. No runs, a hit, no errors, and nobody left. We'll go to the 9th inning. El Dorado, 6. Mulvane, 4. So we go to the ninth inning here. Mason Goad, who just made a delightful defensive play to end the eighth, will lead off here in the ninth inning for Mulvane. El Dorado leading 6-4. Dylan Denzel back on the hill for El Dorado and right in there for strike one. Goad, 1 for 2 with a couple of walks and 1 run scored in his return here to McDonald Stadium. 1 ball, 1 strike, and Denzel working quickly. That's inside, 2-1. The 2-1 shot foul down the right field line. Two balls and 2 strikes. The always important leadoff hitter in the ninth inning. And a high chopper. Catlett charging. Goad racing down there, and Catlett was looking to throw it before he had it. Goad might have beaten out. He'll get the base hit. So an infield single, and here's Javis Larson, who's been tough to keep off the base paths. He's 3 for 4. A couple of infield singles, an RBI, and then a double in the 7th inning. He eventually scored. He's looking to bunt, and bunts it hard foul down the third base line. I'm going to guess he was trying to bunt for a hit there because it's 6-4. No balls and 1 strike. Caleb Cox waits on deck. That pitch stayed a little bit inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Denzel in line for a save if he can hold it down here. 6-4 El Dorado. And the pitch, and Larson had a notion able to pull it up. Two balls, 1 strike. And the pitch from Denzel is on the corner, 2-2. Lefty on lefty here. Nice to have so many of you watching tonight on our debut broadcast. And in the turf, so Larson's out. The runner goes down to second. But did El Dorado need to throw down with first base occupied? So that was one of those confusing plays. Sargent kept it safe and just threw down to first. Good read by Goad as he took off when he saw it in the turf. And here's Caleb Cox. 1 away, 6-4 El Dorado. Top of the 9th inning. And the first pitch to Cox is down and in, ball 1. Caleb Cox tonight is 0 for 3 with a walk. Had an RBI ground out in the 7th inning. Denzel's pitch, that one drops in there. Beautifully done. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mulvane scored 1 in the first and 3 in the 7th. El Dorado scored 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and 3 in the 6th. And the pitch from Denzel, that's in there, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch from Denzel, that one's hit towards third, and that's a fair ball. That's going to be a double for Cox. Coming around to score is Goad, and the tying run is at second base for Mulvane. An RBI double for Caleb Cox. And Bryson Learley will step in. 6-5 El Dorado. So after a 1-2-3 eighth inning for Denzel, a single, a strikeout, and a double now for Mulvane here in the ninth. Hit up the middle, base hit out to center field, and we'll have a play at the plate. The throw home will be cut off, and we are tied. Bryson Learley with an RBI single. Six to six, our score. Turner Lace coming up for Mulvane. Pitch from Denzel to Lace, and that curveball in there for strike one. The 0-1 pitch to Lace, and that fastball a little bit up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Turner Lace, 2 for 4. Singled in the 6th, singled in the 7th. And the 1-1. A little bit low and away. 2 balls and a strike. Again, this game, along with all of our other broadcasts, will be archived. And you can watch any or all of it at your leisure. Swing and a miss by Lace. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Lace calls time. Learley over at first, and the pitch, and that one's just tipped foul. Lace hanging in there. The Broncos are at Mulvane on Monday and at Derby on Tuesday. Home to Derby here Wednesday. 2-2 pitch, and that's outside, ball 3. Of course, the long road trips for El Dorado are Hayes, Dodge City, and Liberal, and within the first couple of weeks of the season, the Broncos will head out west to Hayes and then head out to Liberal. Get some of those long road trips out of the way. Again, it's very home heavy in July. Broncos have a 3-game series at home with Dodge City, June 11th, 12th, and 13th. And this ball fouled out of play by Lace. The Hayesville Aviators are in town on June 20th. Great Bend comes to town June 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. There's a 3-2 pitch, and the slow curve stayed up, and a walk. And down to second is Learley, down to first is Lace. So it's an efficient and quick 8th inning for Dylan Denzel, but the 9th inning's been a different story. A single, a strikeout, a double, a single, and a walk. And here's Garrett Chalker. One away for Mulvane in the 9th. They have tied it already with 2 runs. And foul ball out of play to Garrett Chalker. Chalker 0 for 4, reached on an error in the 4th inning. And the 0-1 pitch, and that one's fouled out of play, 0-2. Garrett Chalker played at Butler County Community College. O2 pitch from Denzel. Sargent sets up on the outside. And behind on the fastball, a strikeout for Denzel. Chalker goes down, and that's 2 away. A big strikeout for the El Dorado lefty. So the catcher, Dawson Sramick, will come up. Sramick is 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. Talking about the July schedule for El Dorado. It starts July 3rd with Derby, and then July 4th and 5th, Oklahoma City's in town. There's a doubleheader on July 5th. Then Hayes is in the 6th through the 8th. Liberals in town the 9th through the 11th. Oklahoma City returns July 13th, 14th, and 15th. And then the Military USA team is here July 16th. So from July 3rd to July 16th, all home games, a doubleheader, and I think one off day. No balls and a strike to Sramick. And he hits one out into left field. Jarrett Coyne coming in, and Coyne makes the catch. So a nice job by Denzel. After giving up the tying run, really bore down and got a strikeout and a flyout. But Mulvane does tie this game, 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors, they leave 2. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. El Dorado and Mulvane tied at 6. Well, a game that the Broncos have led pretty much all night. Trailed 1-0 as Mulvane scored in the top of the first inning, but then the Broncos came back and tied it in the bottom of the first, took the lead in the second, got their lead up to 6-1 after 6 innings. But then 3 in the 7th and 2 in the 9th for Mulvane to tie this one up. Tanner Sheets leading it off for El Dorado. And Sheets hits one out into left center field. Didn't sound like he barreled it up, and that will be caught out there by the left fielder, Garrett Chalker. And one away. Here's Austin Toth. Toth is 1 for 3. Reached on an error in the first, singled in a run in the third, walked in the 7th. And he has to duck out of the way of the first offering from Drake Harper. Toth has reached third base twice tonight, but has yet to score. And the 1-0 is outside, 2-0. Brady Sargent awaits on deck. Two balls and no strikes. And that one's fouled off. So 2 balls and a strike to Austin Toth. Right-handed batter. And the pitch from Drake Harper. And Toth got good wood on it, but right to Givens out in center field. Backs up about 6-7 steps and makes the catch. So 2 away, and here's Sargent.
Number 26, catcher, Brady Sargent.
And Sargent hits this one a mile high, but drifting out of play right behind us. That's one of those foul balls. You hope your car isn't underneath it. That would leave a mark. Sargent came in the game in the 5th inning, and he walked and scored in the 6th, popped out to short in the 7th. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And the 1-1. And Sargent had to reach for it, hit out into right field, and Larson will make the catch. And it's 6-6, and we are going to go to extra innings here tonight. How about that? Opening night, extra innings, just what Gary and I were hoping for. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left for El Dorado in the 9th. We go to the 10th, tied at 6. Well, the El Dorado Broncos in the 9th inning, fly out to left, fly out to center, fly out to right. So we go to the 10th inning. Non-league game. These teams, although close in proximity, not in the same league. Dylan Denzel out for his 3rd inning. Starts off Devin Beard with strike 1. Hunter Larson started for El Dorado, went the first 4. Daniel Nelson went 3, and now the 3rd inning here for Denzel. And quickly 0-2 on Devin Beard. The 0-2 pitch, and a little bit inside, 1-2. Beard 1 for 4 with a run scored. He led off that 3-run 7th inning for Mulvane. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So with 1 out, leadoff batter, Keone Givens. Way back in the 1st, he walked, stole 2nd, stole 3rd, and scored on an infield single. Popped out, singled, flew out to right, and struck out. This is his second look at Dylan Denzel tonight. And 1 ball. No, check that. No balls and 2 strikes here on Givens. And the 0-2 to Givens, and a swing and a miss. 2 away very quickly. 2 strikeouts for Denzel. Denzel's got 6 strikeouts so far in 2 2/3. Mason Goad. And Goad with a foul tip. Strike 1. Goad tonight is 2 for 3. 2 walks, 2 runs scored. And the 0-1 bounces in. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the 1-1 from Denzel. That one's low and in. 2-1. Mulvane down 6-1 after 6. Scored 3 in the 7th and 2 in the 9th. Three and 1 now on Goad. 71 degrees here in El Dorado. Very pleasant. Fouled off. And it's 3-2. Two away for Mulvane here in the top of the 10th inning. And the 3-2 is low, ball 4. So another walk. That's the 3rd walk tonight for Mason Goad. So here's Javis Larson. 3 for 5 tonight. An RBI and a run scored for Javis Larson. And Goad on the move, and the throw down by Sargent. Not much chance. Goad got a running start down to second. I think it was a ball. One ball, no strikes, and that pitch in there. 1 ball, 1 strike to Larson. Javis Larson goes to Washburn University up in Topeka. Here's the 1-1. And inside, 2-1. Caleb Cox would be next. 6-6, top of the 10th inning. Long look in by Denzel. He's got a sign from Sargent. And the pitch is outside, 3-1. Larson in the driver's seat here. 3 balls and a strike. 2 away from Mulvane in the top of the 10th. And a chopper towards first. It will stay fair. Yes, it will. And Larson has retired. A pretty easy put out, about as easy a put out as Maddox Solomon will have. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 10th inning. Mulvane and El Dorado tied at 6. So we go to the bottom of the 10th inning, and interesting there between the innings there. Toby Reuter and the Mulvane manager were discussing. I don't know how long. It is a non-league game. How long do they want to go with this one here tonight? I don't know. Do you have to have a winner? I would think. But you don't have to. And then Toby said something to the umpire as well. So we'll see what became of that maybe after this half inning. Maddox Solomon leading off for El Dorado. Of course, the Broncos could just play to run here in the bottom of the 10th inning and send us on our way. 6-11-3 for the Broncos, 6-13-2 for the Mulvane Patriots. Drake Harper misses there, 2 balls and a strike. Two and one to Solomon. Swing and a miss. 2-2. The Patriots have the navy blue uni. It looks like a red and white P. Traditional colors you'd imagine for a team with the nickname of the Patriots. 2-2 from Harper. And a chopper into the turf. Lace has it over to first, and they retire Solomon. So 1 away, and that'll bring up Connor Allen. Connor Allen tonight has walked 3 times. He's 0 for 1 officially. And he'll take a look at strike 1. And a swing and a miss, strike 2. Harper has some pretty heavy heat, and then when he comes back with an off speed, it can make the batters look a little out of place. No balls and 2 strikes here to Connor Allen. And that one right in there for strike 3. So 2 away, and here's Anstandig. First pitch in there for strike 1. No balls and a strike. And no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 and took something off, and a swing and a miss for strike 3. A very efficient 10th inning for Drake Harper. Let's. I think we're still playing here. We'll go to the 11th inning. 6-6 is our score. The 11th inning is next here on YouTube. So time for the top of the 11th inning here from McDonald Stadium. 6-6 our score. Caleb Cox will lead it off for the Patriots. Dylan Denzel into his 4th inning of work, and there's strike 1. It's Denzel's game. There's no one in the bullpen. In fact, neither team has anyone warming up. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch and a foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Caleb Cox with an RBI double down the third base line his last time up. Then he later scored the tying run, which is why we're still playing. 6-6 our score. Ball and 2 strikes to Caleb Cox. Pitch down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 curveball, and able to spoil that one was Cox. He'll get another crack at it. Two and a foul tip. Sargent able to corral that one, and that's a strikeout for Denzel. Really nice play there by the catcher, Brady Sargent. So with 1 away, here's Bryson Learley. He had the RBI single that plated Cox to tie this game in the 9th inning, and he looks at strike 1. Learley is 1 for 5 tonight. And that one right in there, 0-2. Denzel's been streaky on the hill. Boy, when he starts hitting that zone, he is in there for 3 or 4 pitches. No balls and 2 strikes to Learley. And the pitch, curveball, is tapped towards third. The Broncos will let it go foul because there was no chance to throw out Learley there. So Bryson will have to trot back towards home plate. And find another 0-2 pitch. Same 2 teams are playing Monday in Mulvane. The 0-2 and fouled off. Again, our coverage, we cover all the home games. And other teams offer some sort of broadcast generally, either audio or audio and video. Just if you search their team website, generally you can find out. I don't know if Mulvane does. So a ball and 2 strikes here on Learley, and just missed to Denzel. Learley was leaning out over the edge there, wondering if he was going to get rung up. He didn't. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch, and a swing and a miss. So another strikeout for Denzel. 2 away here in the Mulvane 11th, and that'll bring up Turner Lace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 strikeouts. Here's a ball out to Anstandig, and he has been a vacuum cleaner out at second. He makes the play, and the Patriots are down 1, 2, 3 here in the 11th. We go to the bottom of the 11th. El Dorado 6, Mulvane 6. Tucker Catlett will lead off for the El Dorado Broncos here in the bottom of the 11th inning. Hello to Wolf Kids 28. And Catlett hits one out into left field, to the track, to the wall, and dropped. Catlett on his way to second. He'll make the turn, heading towards third, and Catlett's in. And he flexes to his dugout. Probably an error. The left fielder camped under it on the track, and it hit his glove and just didn't secure it. So going to be an error. Nonetheless, the Broncos have the winning run at third base. That one just kept on carrying into the north wind here, which is rare to have the wind out of the north. Doesn't happen all that often in the summertime. So that will be an error on the left fielder, Garrett Chalker. So the infield in. And Carvalho. What an opportunity here. Winning run at third, no outs. Drake Harper ahead 0-1, and the pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike two. 6-6, bottom of the 11th. And the 0-2 pitch. And just off the plate, 1-2. With the runner at third, it certainly probably makes the pitcher, Drake Harper, a little leery to try to, you don't want to bounce a curveball in there because the winning run can score there. So if you're the batter here, you're probably looking at straight gas. And that one out of the zone, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The outfield, surprised they're not even in. They're in where they think they can catch and throw. Givens in center is very shallow. And just reaching out and spoiling that off spit changeup there was Carvalho. That was an emergency swing there. Still 2-2. And the pitch from Harper. And that one's fouled right straight behind us. And the Mulvane manager saying, you got to be able to throw him out, telling Garrett Chalker he might be too deep out and left. Here's the 2-2. And not a good swing there for Carvalho, and he strikes out. Big strikeout for Harper, but not out of the woods. Here's Jarrett Coyne. Coyne 2 for 5 tonight with an RBI. He was thrown out at home back in the third inning, trying to score from first on a double by Tanner Sheets. And a curveball drops in there nicely by Harper. Good pitch. No balls and a strike. Tucker Catlett over at third. Boy, he put a charge into one to lead off this inning. And this one in the turf, and a great job by Ceramic to gobble it up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Would have loved to say that was a triple, but that was a high fly. Looked like it might leave the park, but the left fielder was under it. And it hit him right in the glove. Looked like he was just looking to make the catch, and it just popped out of there. Here's the 1-1 to Coyne. And Coyne flips it foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jarrett Coyne out of Sterling, Michigan. 5'10", 175. Got a couple of hits here tonight. And hits this one up the middle. And the runner not coming home. And we're still playing. A dive by Lace. That probably would have scored him easily. Coyne is thrown out. And there's 2 away. Well, as aggressive as the Broncos have been on the base pads, all of a sudden, very safe there. And now 2 away, and here's Tanner Sheets. And a curveball drops in there, strike 1. Drake Harper is really gone to work here with a winning run at third and no outs. He struck out Carvalho, got a ground out for Coyne, and now he's ahead 0-1 on Sheets. And a swing and a miss, strike two. Harper a pitch away from getting out of the deep woods here. No balls and 2 strikes. And a strikeout by Harper, and that will end the 11th inning. A 3-base error to start the inning, and the Broncos unable to get him in. A couple of strikeouts by Harper. And now the managers are looking, are we still playing or are we not? 6-6 our score. No one really going out. The Broncos are slowly making their way out to the field. So we'll go to the 12th inning. 6-6, we're tied here on YouTube.
This really is Coyne.
The Broncos squander a chance to win it in the 11th. Runner at third, no outs, and couldn't get him in. A couple of strikeouts. Drake Harper came up big. And now Jarrett Coyne moves from left field to pitcher. Gary and I are trying to think. We don't remember seeing Jarrett Coyne pitch last summer. Of course, I don't remember him playing left field either. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's a grounder out to Catlett at short. Catlett over to first, and they get the first out of the inning. That was Garrett Chalker grounding out. And that'll bring up the catcher, Dawson Sramick. We're in the top of the 12th inning. El Dorado 6, Mulvane 6. One ball and no strikes from Jarrett Coyne. And the new left fielder, you said Brett Barnett. So someone had to have come out, I would imagine. And there's a foul ball. 2 balls and a strike. So Jarrett Coyne. Again, some of these college guys, they can do a lot of things. They can play a lot of positions. 2 balls and a strike, and that one's bounced in, 3-1. Unlike the Bronco team coming in thin on pitching and having to deal with a 12-inning game to open the season. Foul ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Just what Toby Reuter was hoping for, I'm sure. 3-2, one away here in the 12th inning. Ceramic tonight, 0 for 3 with 2 walks. And he'll get a third walk. That'll bring up Devin Beard. Devin Beard, 1 for 5. Singled and scored in the 7th inning. Coin misses, ball 1. Lead off of first for Ceramic, and the pitch. That one's going to get past Sargent. That's probably a wild pitch there. Not much chance for Sargent. And the go-ahead run from Mulvane stands down at second base. Two balls and no strikes to Beard. 4 innings for Larson tonight for El Dorado. 3 for Nelson. 4 for Denzel. And now Jarrett Coyne pitching here in the 12th, and he's behind 3-0 to Beard. The leadoff batter, Givens, waits on deck. Here's the 3-0, and that's upstairs, ball 4. Gary took the words out of my mouth. Givens coming up. His best offense, I mean, when he's been squaring, and when he's bunted or given that appearance, he's been a tough out. 1 for 5 with a walk and a run scored. 2 strikeouts tonight for Givens. But he is speedy. But he'll wait for a strike. 1-0. Top of the 12th inning. El Dorado and Mulvane tied at 6. And the 1-0. And that one just missed. 2-0. Two balls, no strikes to Givens. Mason Goad waits on deck. High, ball 3. One away from Mulvane here in the 12th. Runners at first and second. A 3-0 count. And Coyne puts one down the middle. Three and 1. And the pitch from Jarrett Coyne is high, ball 4. So here's Mason Goad. A chance to put Mulvane in the lead for the first time since the top of the first inning. First pitch outside, ball 1. Goad has walked 3 times tonight. He has 2 singles, 2 runs scored. One and 0. And that one inside, 2-0. Three walks here in the inning. Goad hits it to shallow left field. Barnett coming in, but the shortstop Catlett settles under it and makes the catch, and a very big out there for El Dorado. No advance. And now here's Javis Larson. Two away. And the pitch hit towards second base. Anstan digs under. He's got it over to first. And Mulvane unable to score again They've had bases loaded with 2 outs, 1 out, and no outs, and have not scored. Terrific job by Jarrett Coyne to gut his way through the top of the 12th inning with no damage done. We'll go to the bottom of the 12th inning, tied at 6. Well, here we go, bottom of the 12th inning. I'll tell you what, it's one of those. I mean, those are kind of your typical early season non-league game. Everyone's still kind of figure out who's who, and when a lot of these guys, I mean, some of these guys are coming from different places, different colleges, different ages. We've had our share of walks and errors and base running gaffes, and we continue to play on. 6-6, bottom of the 12th inning. Drake Harper out for another inning of work here for Mulvane. And Austin Toth looks at strike one. He's got a ball and a strike on him. Austin Toth reached on an air, singled in a run, popped out to second, walked, and flew out to center. And Toth fouls this one out of play. That big supply of baseballs that the Broncos and Doug Bell got, getting a dent here tonight. A lot of balls flying out of play, hopefully getting returned. Here's the 1-2, and Toth was kind of on the wrong foot there, just reached out and flips it out to second base, and it's caught by Goad to retire Toth. So one away, and that'll bring up Brady Sargent. Sargent, since he entered the game, is 1 for 3. First delivery from Harper is up 1-0. Ethan Payne started behind the dish. Sargent came in the 5th, and he's getting a lot of work. Harper finds the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. Maddox Solomon waits on deck. 6-6, bottom of the 12th inning. And the 1-1. Sargent hits it out to center field. Givens settling under it. And it comes down into his glove, and that's the second out. Sounded good off the bat, but routine catch out there for Givens. So here's Solomon, who way back in the second inning on his third pitch in a Bronco uniform delivered one over the right field wall. Since then, he has struck out twice and grounded out to short twice, and he's out in front of that curveball. No balls and 1 strike. Our viewers have been staying faithful here. We've been at 29 to 32 viewers the whole night. No balls and a strike. That one down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 away for El Dorado here in the bottom of the 12th inning. Harper winds and deals. Fastball is low, 2-1. Harper gathers, and here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the 2-2 to Solomon. That one's low, 3-2. Mulvane with 13 hits. El Dorado with 11. Each team has committed 3 errors tonight. And the pitch from Harper. Solomon not cheated. He'll foul this one out of play. The Broncos have been streaky with their bats. They had 7 hits in the first 3 innings. Then quieted down for the 4th and the 5th. Came alive in the 6th. But since the 6th, from the 7th inning here to the 12th, just 1 single for El Dorado to my numbers. Solomon hits it towards center field and a 2-out single. So with 2 away, and this will be Barnett with his first at bat. So he'll come in Allen's spot. Left-handed batter, his first at bat on this long evening. And he looks at strike 1. Still going back to that 11th inning. What a job by Harper. A 3-base error to start off the inning. And to get a strikeout, a ground out, and a strikeout and leave the runner stranded at third was a thing of beauty for Mulvane and Drake Harper. No balls and a strike to Barnett. And that curveball bounces in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jordan Anstandig would be next. And the 1-1. That one's in there for strike 2. Of course, in college, guys use the aluminum bats, but here, these are the wooden bats, aren't they? One ball, 2 strikes. And Barnett did go, and he'll be called out, strikeout for Drake Harper. And now I just heard someone say, nice game. Are we ending it after 12? Or are we not? Yeah, the managers are shaking hands, so it looks like 12 innings is going to be the limit here tonight. If this was a league game, they would keep playing. But a non-league game, the managers shake hands, the players.
The press box is the last to know.
So that is going to be the end of the game, folks. And all this action tonight, all of what happened, and we end up in a stalemate. 6 runs, 13 hits, 3 errors for Mulvane. 6 runs, 12 hits, 3 errors for El Dorado. About as even a game as you could probably ask for. Both teams, so similar, squandered terrific scoring opportunities. Both teams came up with some clutch hits, had 6 errors combined, a lot of walks. And we end up 6-6 tie. Time of tonight's game, 3 hours and 22 minutes. No winning pitcher, no losing pitcher, no save to report. And these teams will play again on Monday night. 33 years and the first tie. And I was here to sit right next to Gary and see it. A little bit of history right here. The Broncos are in Mulvane Monday. They're at Derby Tuesday. Their next home game is Wednesday, but yours truly will not be here for that one. I'll have all the rest of them, but not Wednesday. I'll be in Oregon on Wednesday. Thanks, Gary. And then the next broadcast we'll have for you here on YouTube of El Dorado Bronco Baseball will be on June 11th when the Dodge City A's come to town. Thanks so much for all the comments. A little thin on the emails tonight. Hopefully those will pick up. Hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast here on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Kurt Caden bidding you good night from El Dorado. Final score 6-6.